The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. In a world that never stops telling you how to feel, what to think, and how to behave, imagine having the ability to find genuine peace and happiness no matter what is happening around you. That's not just powerful. It's a complete revolution of the mind. It means taking control, not of the external world, but of something far more significant and entirely within your reach, your own thinking. Stoicism teaches us resilience, gratitude, and the art of building a truly fulfilled existence. But this isn't a history lecture. This is about you, your life, right now. It's about standing in the middle of the chaos of modern living without losing your center. It's about finding stillness inside the storm and discovering happiness in the most ordinary moments. It's about turning your mornings from something you dread into a powerful launching point for a day driven by purpose and genuine satisfaction. So if you've ever felt crushed under the weight of life's noise, if you've ever struggled to find a single moment of quiet, or if you're simply curious about how the wisdom of ancient thinkers can become your greatest advantage in the 21st century, stay with me. This could be the video that genuinely shifts something for you. Let's go deep into the Stoic strategies that can help us build not just a morning routine, but an entire life rooted in intention, resilience, and real happiness. I urge you to give this your complete, undivided attention from beginning to end. If you're someone who values depth and genuine wisdom, your commitment to absorbing every part of this is what separates you from the rest. Number 1. Find your Ikigai. This might sound like an unfamiliar term, but it's actually a beautifully straightforward concept that originates from Japan. It's about finding that rare intersection where your deepest passions, your sharpest abilities, what society genuinely needs, and what you can earn a living doing all come together. It's your one-of-a-kind reason for getting up in the morning. Picture waking up every single day fueled by a sense of purpose so vivid and compelling that the idea of hitting the snooze button becomes completely irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wasn't simply about grinding through life's hardships with gritted teeth. He was deeply committed to the belief that each of us is here to play a specific role, to offer something of genuine value to the world. He pushed us to approach every new day as a chance to fulfill that role with integrity and full engagement. Now place that idea alongside Ikigai. It's not merely about identifying what you love. It's about aligning that love with what the world around you actually needs and what you naturally do well. That intersection, that's where everything comes alive. But how do you begin uncovering your Ikigai? It starts with honest self-examination. Ask yourself, what genuinely excites me? What do I do better than most? What does the world around me actually need? And what could I realistically be compensated for doing? Don't worry if the answers don't arrive immediately. That's entirely fine. This is about the exploration itself, examining the different dimensions of your life and your interests until you start to see where they naturally meet. This search for Ikigai is not some soft, feel-good exercise with no real substance. It's about building the foundation for a life that is rich in meaning and personal satisfaction. When your daily actions align with your deeper purpose, even the most routine tasks take on new significance. Your relationships deepen because you show up more fully present. Your creative energy expands because you are finally living in alignment with what truly matters to you. And happiness, well, it stops being a rare visitor and starts becoming a reliable companion. So as you think about setting your alarm tonight, ask yourself, what could be so compelling, so genuinely exciting, that you'd practically leap out of bed to pursue it? And remember, this is not about an overnight transformation. It is a gradual unfolding. As Marcus Aurelius would remind us, it is about doing the work every single day with dedication, honesty, and honor. Finding your Ikigai is not only about personal fulfillment, it is about stepping fully into your role within the larger story of humanity and offering your unique thread to the ever-evolving fabric of life. Number 2, prepare for your mornings. The ancient Stoics, and Marcus Aurelius in particular, held firmly to the idea that our actions should carry intention behind them. Not random movements scattered carelessly into the wind, but deliberate steps guided by a clear internal compass. This philosophy extends naturally and powerfully into how we prepare for the day ahead. And that preparation begins the night before. Here is the truth. The quality of your morning is directly shaped by how you spend your evening. It is easy to fall into the trap of binge-watching your favorite series until the early hours, or scrolling endlessly through social media until your eyes can barely focus. But pause for a moment and consider what that actually does to your readiness for the following day. Your brain requires time to decompress, to process everything that happened, and to genuinely recharge for what lies ahead. That is where a solid pre-sleep routine becomes enormously valuable. Think about approaching your evening with the same level of care and intentionality you would bring to any other meaningful part of your life. This is not about rigid, joyless self-discipline that strips your evenings of any pleasure. It is about creating an environment that genuinely supports your well-being and sets you up for the day you want to have. For example, stepping away from screens an hour before bed is not about depriving yourself of entertainment. It is about sending your mind a clear signal that it is time to wind down, making it far easier to fall into a deep sleep and rise feeling genuinely restored. Taking a few minutes to plan ahead can also be a complete game changer. Something as straightforward as writing down your top 3 priorities for the following day establishes a clear direction and means you wake up already knowing what matters most. And this is precisely where the Stoic mindset reveals its strength, in the recognition of what is within your control and the willingness to release what is not. You cannot command every detail of the day ahead, but you absolutely can shape how you enter it. Add some deep breathing or a brief meditation before bed, and you give your nervous system the signal it needs to truly rest. Long, slow exhales lower your heart rate, reduce accumulated stress, and prepare your body for the kind of deep, restorative sleep that leaves you waking up not just physically recovered, but mentally sharp and emotionally grounded. Number 3, avoid distractions after waking up. In a world that never fully switches off, this might sound like an impossible demand, but it is absolutely essential for establishing the tone of your entire day. Picture the very first moments of your morning completely undisturbed. No pinging emails, no social media alerts, no rolling headline of crises and controversies. Just you, your own thoughts, and the calm quiet of early daylight. That is not just refreshing, that is genuinely empowering. Marcus Aurelius was a fierce advocate for intentional, focused living. He was not distracted by the noise of ancient Rome. And believe me, ruling an empire gave him plenty of distractions to contend with. Instead, he returned again and again to the practice of full presence, of keeping his attention grounded in the moment and the task directly in front of him. He understood something that is perhaps even more urgent today. The quality of your attention determines the quality of everything you do. So how do we apply this ancient discipline in the modern world? It begins by creating a morning environment that is deliberately free of digital interference. This is not about rejecting technology entirely. It is about refusing to let it set the agenda for the first part of your day. When you reach for your phone the instant you open your eyes, you immediately shift into a reactive state, allowing the demands and dramas of the external world to take the wheel before you have even had a chance to gather yourself. Instead, offer yourself something better. Imagine dedicating the opening hour of your day to activities that genuinely nourish you and sharpen your mind, whether that is reading, meditating, journaling, or simply sitting with a hot drink and watching the morning light shift outside your window. That time is not wasted. It is one of the most valuable investments you can make. By protecting those early hours from distraction, you are not simply avoiding stress. You are actively building a reservoir of calm and clarity that you will draw from again and again throughout the rest of the day. Optimizing your mornings is not about cramming more onto your to-do list. It is about removing the noise that serves nothing, about choosing before the day's demands start pulling at you from every direction to give your full attention to what genuinely matters. That is Stoicism made practical, focusing your energy on what you can actually influence and releasing the rest. So tomorrow morning, set yourself a challenge. Resist every impulse to reach for your phone the moment you wake. Ground yourself in the present instead. Breathe in the stillness and possibility that the morning holds. Every single day is a fresh opportunity to live with greater intention, greater calm, and greater alignment with the person you are working to become. Let your mornings be proof of that. Number 4, wake up consistently. At its heart, Stoicism is about clearly identifying what lies within your control and then engaging with those areas through virtue, discipline, and genuine intention. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. None of these men were simply preaching stoic endurance for its own sake. They were advocates for active, deliberate engagement with life, for owning your choices, your responses, and your daily habits. Waking up at a consistent time every morning is a direct expression of that philosophy. It is a quiet but powerful declaration that you are the one who decides how your day begins, that you are not at the mercy of impulse or circumstance. This idea of building a life step by step, with steadiness and contentment in each small action, carries real weight. It reminds us that meaningful change does not arrive in dramatic bursts. It accumulates through small, repeated commitments. Rising at the same hour every morning may appear unremarkable, but it is a cornerstone habit. It creates a stable and predictable foundation from which everything else can grow. One where you are not scrambling from the moment your eyes open, but beginning with a quiet sense of structure and self-possession. And yet, consistency is genuinely difficult. It is meant to be. Those first attempts at waking at the same time each day can feel like a struggle against your own biology. Your bed has never felt so comfortable. The temptation to press snooze just one more time can feel almost physically irresistible. This is exactly where Stoic perseverance steps in. It is about reconnecting with your reason for doing this, about keeping your eyes fixed on the kind of person you are gradually becoming through this daily discipline. It is about seeing past the immediate pull of comfort and anchoring yourself instead to the long-term rewards that this one habit will bring to every area of your life. Becoming someone who rises with purpose is not simply about the mornings in isolation. It is about developing the qualities that will make you more grounded, more focused, and more intentional across everything you do. It is a daily practice in self-mastery, in bringing your actions into alignment with your values, and in building the kind of life you genuinely want, one morning at a time. Want to make consistency work in your favor? Start the night before by setting a clear intention. Remind yourself exactly why this matters. Is it to carve out quiet time for reading or meditation? To move your body before the day takes over? Or simply to begin the day feeling composed and in control rather than already behind? Then build an environment that makes the habit easier. Perhaps an earlier bedtime to ensure you are genuinely rested, or leaving your curtains slightly open so natural light eases you into wakefulness. And when it gets hard, because it will, return to the Stoic conviction in the power of your own will. Every morning you rise at your chosen hour, you are doing far more than starting a day. You are reinforcing a promise to yourself, a commitment to your own growth and to living with deliberate purpose. Number 5, take it easy. Amid all this focus on discipline, consistency, and rising early, there is one thing we must never lose sight of. We are human. And being human means we are wonderfully complex, with minds that frequently prefer the easy path, the immediate reward, the comfortable choice. That is precisely why building new habits, especially transforming your mornings, can feel like such hard work in the beginning. But there is something genuinely freeing in simply acknowledging that fact. It is not a character flaw. It is the human experience in its most honest form. Now let's bring some stoicism to bear on this, because alongside its calls for discipline and resilience, Stoicism also teaches us the vital importance of self-compassion and patience with others, and, crucially, with ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, in his private writings, repeatedly reminded himself to be gentle and forgiving toward his own limitations. He understood that punishing yourself for every stumble was not the road to genuine growth. Instead, he practiced recognizing his missteps, extracting whatever lesson they contained, and then letting them go completely. That approach is indispensable when you are working to build any new routine. The early days can genuinely be tough. Your alarm sounds, and every part of you wants to stay buried under the covers. And let's be completely honest, there will be mornings when you give in to that. That is fine. The real question is what you do next. Do you spiral into self-criticism and guilt? Or do you take a breath, extend yourself some grace, and treat the following morning as a clean slate? Forgiving yourself and practicing patience are not signs of weakness. They are signs of real strength and deep wisdom. They show that you are committed to the long game, that you can navigate the inevitable setbacks with composure rather than collapse. Stoic self-compassion is about truly understanding your own nature, working with it rather than against it, and gently guiding yourself toward the habits and the life you are aiming for. And taking it easy does not mean making excuses or accepting perpetual falling short. It means understanding that growth is a process, one that includes learning curves, detours, and occasional steps backward. Every new day arrives with its own set of challenges and fresh possibilities, and it is precisely in that daily renewal that our resilience is forged and our strength is found. So as you work toward embracing those early mornings, or any new habit, remember to be fair to yourself. Recognize the small wins, absorb the lessons from the setbacks, and face each new day ready to try again. This is not simply about becoming a morning person. It is about developing a mindset capable of meeting life's challenges with equal parts determination and self-kindness. Number 6, practice discipline in the little things. Consider something as straightforward as placing your alarm clock on the other side of the room. It is not just a trick to make it harder to fall back asleep. It is a statement, a commitment to starting the day on your own terms, to getting up in spite of the warmth and comfort beckoning you to stay. It is a small but deliberate act of defiance against inertia, a step toward engaging with the day with full intention. Or think about making your bed each morning. It might feel like a trivial task, especially when nobody else will see it. But it is so much more than smoothing sheets and straightening pillows. It is an act of care directed toward yourself, a signal that your environment matters, that how you engage with your immediate surroundings reflects how you are choosing to show up in the world. It is about creating a space that mirrors the order and self-respect you are cultivating within. These small victories, and Marcus Aurelius would almost certainly agree, are the building blocks of a disciplined life. They are the everyday choices that, while easy to dismiss or overlook, quietly accumulate and shape character over time. Every time you choose to do these small things, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be, someone who values discipline, order, and genuine respect for themselves and their environment. And why place such emphasis on these minor acts? Because they are available to everyone. Not all of us can dictate the major events in our lives, the upheavals, the unexpected turns, the things that arrive without warning. But every one of us can control how we meet the beginning of each day, how we treat the space around us, and how we prime ourselves for whatever is coming. That is Stoicism made tangible, placing your full energy on what you can genuinely influence and releasing your grip on everything else. Beyond that, these practices are not about discipline for its own sake. They are about training a mindset that will serve you when the stakes are much higher. If you can hold yourself to these small, daily commitments, you are sharpening your ability to follow through, to remain composed in the face of difficulty, and to approach life with the calm, steady confidence that defines the Stoic ideal. So as you think about the role of discipline in your own life, begin with the small things. Look for the everyday moments where you can practice self-control and bring a little more order to your world. Remember, it is in these quiet moments, in the early morning, when you choose to rise and face the day with intention, that your character is quietly and steadily being built. These are not merely tasks or chores. They are rituals, ones that infuse your days with purpose and give your life a genuine sense of direction and meaning. Number 7. Find an accountability partner. The concept here is elegantly simple, yet profoundly effective. Sharing your goals with someone who genuinely supports you and holds you to your commitments can dramatically increase your likelihood of following through. It transforms what might otherwise feel like a solitary struggle into a shared endeavor, making the path toward your morning routine and your broader life goals feel far less daunting and considerably more rewarding. Think of your accountability partner as your ally in the ongoing work of self-improvement. This is the person who reminds you of what you committed to when the warmth of your bed feels impossible to leave. They are there to encourage you when progress feels painfully slow, and to celebrate your wins, however small those wins might seem. This relationship operates in both directions. It is built on mutual encouragement and shared investment, grounded in the understanding that both of you are working toward becoming better versions of yourselves. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus among them, consistently spoke about the power of community and meaningful relationships in the development of character and virtue. They believed deeply in the value of shared wisdom, in learning from one another, and in the quiet but substantial strength that comes from knowing you are not walking your path completely alone. Finding an accountability partner in today's world is an echo of that timeless insight, a recognition that while the journey toward discipline and purpose is deeply personal, it does not have to be entirely solitary. Beyond that, a good accountability partner will often notice blind spots in your approach or your thinking that you simply cannot see from your own vantage point. They bring fresh perspectives that can catalyze growth in directions you never anticipated. And this partnership is about more than simply checking whether you woke up on time or completed your morning meditation. It is about meaningful, honest dialogue, about what is genuinely working, what is not, and how you can actively support each other in making meaningful adjustments. So how do you find this person? Look for someone who shares your commitment to personal growth and genuine self-improvement. It might be a close friend, a family member, or even a trusted colleague. The essential thing is to choose someone you genuinely trust, someone with whom you can be completely open about your goals, your struggles, and your progress. Once you have found that person, be transparent about what you are working toward and what kind of support will actually help you. Establish regular check-ins and show up consistently for each other. Remember, finding an accountability partner is not simply about external motivation. It is about building a relationship that uplifts and genuinely inspires both of you. It is about creating a shared space where honesty, vulnerability, and mutual encouragement are not just welcomed, but actively cultivated. Within that space, your morning habits and your larger life goals become woven together in a collective effort towards something more intentional, more disciplined, and ultimately more fulfilling. Number 8. Remember death. The Stoic practice of reflecting on our mortality is a call to action, an invitation to live with genuine purpose and conscious intention. It pushes us not to waste our limited time on things that mean nothing, but to concentrate instead on building something truly worthwhile. Every morning when we open our eyes, we are handed a fresh opportunity to engage meaningfully with life, to contribute something positive to the people around us, and to continue the ongoing work of personal growth. Marcus Aurelius returned again and again in his meditations to the fleeting, impermanent nature of life, emphasizing that living virtuously and making full use of the time we are given is everything. And this was not meant as a dark or somber reflection. Quite the opposite. For Marcus, it was a deeply liberating realization, one that freed him from petty distractions and allowed him to pour his energy into his duties and into becoming the best version of himself. By holding the end in view, we become far more likely to live each day with true clarity and purpose, naturally gravitating toward the people and the pursuits that genuinely matter. Bringing this awareness into your morning routine completely transforms how you approach each new day. It is no longer just another day. It is a day you have been given, one that no one is promised. That understanding can profoundly shift how you choose to spend your hours, what you engage with, which relationships you invest in, and what kind of legacy you are working to leave. It is a reminder to live fully, to love deeply, and to strive each day to leave things a little better than you found them. This practice also sharpens your perspective when life's inevitable difficulties arrive. When you hold the awareness that time is finite, the daily frustrations and minor setbacks begin to lose their grip on you. You become more resilient, more locked in on your long-term direction, and less easily knocked off course by temporary turbulence. It is a practice that deepens gratitude for what you have right now and drives you to make the absolute most of it. So how do you weave this into your daily life? Begin with a moment of quiet reflection each morning. Treat the day ahead as a blank canvas, an opportunity to add something meaningful to your own story and to the lives of the people around you. Ask yourself honestly, if this were my final day, would I feel proud of how I am choosing to spend it? This is not about living in a state of constant existential dread. It is about developing a profound appreciation for the present, for the sheer privilege of being alive, of being able to learn, to grow, to connect, and to contribute. In embracing this Stoic principle, we are not dwelling on endings. We are choosing to be fully awake in the present. It is a powerful remedy for complacency and a constant reminder to live with intention, purpose, and deep gratitude. Greet each morning knowing it is a genuine gift, an opportunity to build a life rich in meaning, aligned with your deepest values. That is the very essence of living stoically, making the most of our finite time here, and leaving behind something that endures. Number 9. Practice negative visualization. We are constantly encouraged to focus on the positive, to picture success, to visualize happiness, to attract abundance by holding images of it firmly in mind. But the Stoics, with their particular brand of hard-won wisdom, offer a strikingly different approach, one that is not only more practical, but in many ways far more empowering. Negative visualization is not pessimism. It is a tool for building genuine resilience, for preparing yourself mentally, and for arriving at a much deeper and more honest appreciation of what you already have. The practice itself is straightforward. You periodically and deliberately imagine the challenges, the losses, or the difficulties that could realistically enter your life. This might range from something relatively minor, a canceled plan, a frustrating commute, an argument that leaves you rattled, to something far more significant, such as the sudden loss of employment, a serious health setback, or losing someone you love. The entire point of this exercise is not to sit in fear or cultivate anxiety about these scenarios. It is to mentally rehearse in advance how you would respond if they actually materialized. This kind of preparation, emotional and psychological, makes you considerably less vulnerable to being completely undone when life does, inevitably, deliver something difficult. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all believed that by regularly contemplating the temporary and uncertain nature of everything outside our direct control, we could develop a steadier and more enduring sense of inner peace. The practice teaches us to direct our energy toward the only things we truly govern: our responses, our attitudes, and our conscious choices. Bringing negative visualization into your morning routine can fundamentally change how you step into your day. Rather than walking out the door entirely unprepared for whatever may come, you face it already mentally fortified. It is like a psychological training session, one where you deliberately strengthen your capacity for resilience so that when life inevitably throws something unexpected at you, you are not caught completely off guard. You have already rehearsed the moment, and you can draw on those pre-imagined responses to navigate through it with far greater composure. And here is where the practice reveals its most elegant and somewhat paradoxical effect. It makes you genuinely more grateful. By vividly imagining life without some of the things you most take for granted, you return to your actual life with a renewed and visceral appreciation for them. It is a way of waking yourself up to how much is already good, how much you already have to be thankful for, right here, right now. This is not about manufacturing fear of loss. It is about using the thought of loss to sharpen your awareness of what you already hold. So how do we practice negative visualization in a way that is healthy and genuinely constructive? So how do we practice negative visualization in a way that is healthy and genuinely constructive? Start simply. Each morning, before the day pulls you in every direction, take just 2 or 3 minutes to sit quietly and ask yourself, what could go wrong today? Not in a spiraling, catastrophic way, but calmly, deliberately. Picture a difficult conversation, an unexpected obstacle, a plan that falls apart. Then ask yourself, how would I respond? What would I do? What resources do I already have inside me to handle that? By running through these scenarios in the quiet of the morning, you are essentially rehearsing composure. You are training yourself to respond rather than react, to meet difficulty from a place of preparation rather than shock. The second layer of this practice is gratitude. After you have sat with those imagined hardships, look around at your actual life, your health, the people you love, the roof above you, the opportunity this day represents. None of it is guaranteed. all of it is worth acknowledging. The contrast between what you imagined losing and what you still have has a way of making ordinary mornings feel genuinely extraordinary. The Stoics did not practice negative visualization to make themselves miserable. They practiced it to make themselves free from the fragility that comes with only ever expecting things to go well, and free to experience genuine gratitude for a life that, even with all its imperfections, is filled with more than enough. So as you build your morning routine, as you incorporate purpose, discipline, consistency, self-compassion, and intentional thought, remember that the goal of all of it is not perfection. It is presence. It is showing up each day a little more awake, a little more grounded, and a little more grateful than the day before. The Stoics did not have all the answers, but they understood one thing with absolute clarity. The life you build is constructed thought by thought, choice by choice, morning by morning. And every single morning you wake up is an opportunity, a genuine, unrepeatable opportunity to build it better. That is the practice. That is the philosophy. And now, it is yours.